Welcome back, everybody, to the mostly mundane adventures of Jim. Last time I was sharing with you about some colorful characters from around the Bloomington, Indiana area. And I talked about a man named Jim Bough, B-O-U-G-H. And this time I'd like to share with you about another man, Tamale Joe. I saw him many times walking around the downtown area, peddling his homemade tamales from an insulated container held close to his body with a shoulder strap. Over and over his voice could be heard, "Hot tamales, get 'em while they're hot." Every Saturday I walked from Hunter Avenue to the center of town to pay my Herald Telephone newspaper bill. Money from my paper route. Many of those times I encountered Tamale Joe. We Deckards had not been introduced to Mexican food yet, so I had no idea what those things were. Finally, my curiosity got the best of me, and I pulled out some of my hard-earned money from my pocket and bought one. That event changed the course of my taste buds forever. It was delightful. And to this day, when I visit a Mexican restaurant, I try to include a tamale or tamal in my order. Thank you, Tamale Joe. And here's an actual photograph of Tamale Joe taking a well-deserved break. Gib Core, another colorful character. Gib was a local legend who, according to the kids at school, carried a switchblade and would threaten and even chase kids with it. For a living, he sold ice cream treats around town, which he carried in a small cooler. You would think that a man who sold ice cream would be of good humor, but according to several school kids, he was a mean and dangerous man. Perhaps the kids drove him to madness with their cruel taunting. "Gibby, Gibby, got some green ice cream?" The word on the street was that he put salt in the ice cream because he hated children, but that makes no sense at all. I had heard so many stories about him that one day, when walking near the square, I rounded a corner and there he was, face to face with me. Instinctively, I spun around and ran for dear life. I imagined that he was right on my tail with his switchblade drawn, ready to plunge it into my back and leave my future children fatherless. When I became exhausted from running, I slowed a bit and cast a glance over my shoulder. Wait, what? He was nowhere to be seen. Thank God I would live to see another day and have children of my own. Maybe, just maybe, Gib was a nice man, and all those malicious stories about him were from the minds of a few evil children. I'd like to play the drums. While still in the 6th grade, Mr. Traub, the band director from Bloomington Junior and Senior High School, came to Elm Heights to test and interview kids who wanted to be in the 7th grade band next year. I was eager to be in the band and already knew what I wanted to play. So when my turn came to be interviewed, I blurted out, "I want to play the drums." I'd been listening to one of our family-owned records featuring piano and actually a snare drum, one drum, and was very taken with drums in general. Mr. Traub looked at my hands and then at the length of my arms. I was always one of the taller kids in my grade at school. He said, "Yes, you could play the drums, but you have nice long arms and you did so well in your musical aptitude test. I think you'd make a good trombone player." And just like that, my path in life was changed forever. I just went along with it. I suppose that he could have said bagpipes or harmonica, and I would have gone along with that too. There I was the next year learning to play a rented trombone that was dull, beat up, and ugly. Could have been from the losing side of the Spanish-American War. After a year of trombone lessons, I was learning quickly and loving it, but I couldn't tolerate the beat-up instrument. I visited a local music store and fell in love with a brand new Conn trombone made in Elkhart, Indiana. With my own paper route money, I made payments on it until the $150 debt was erased. That was in 1964, and now in 2025, I still have it, and I still play it. With my first paper route, I wasted most of my money. Now that I was older and wiser, I wasn't spending money on candy and coney dogs, but making worthwhile purchases like helping purchase the family car, the trombone, and a 10-speed Schwinn varsity bike, brand new for $69. I continued in marching and concert band all the way through high school and one semester of college. The students that lived upstairs on Hunter Avenue probably wished that I would drop out rather than listen to me practicing scales in the evening. It occurred to me that I could go down to the scary basement to practice, where I wouldn't be heard by anyone. But I was wrong. The huge coal furnace acted like a microphone and an amplifier, and sent my scales up through the ductwork into every room of the house and out of the floor registers. They became like speakers. All that lived in the house were being blessed with surround sound. But we got along well with the college students. Jim Gregory came down a couple of times and played some boogie-woogie on our old $15 upright piano. And by the way, you can still get an old upright piano for $15 or no dollars at all, in fact. Kennedy. The most memorable day of band class was November 22nd, 1963. We were practicing some scales on our instruments when we were interrupted by the voice of the school principal on the intercom. President Kennedy had been assassinated. We were dismissed immediately to go home. Our lives could not go on as usual. We needed to think about what had just happened. Soapbox Derby. Oh, wait a minute. We're running short on time, so I'll do this one next time. Please tune in then and hear one of the most exciting stories from my young life. God bless you.